Hey y'all, and welcome back to Timber and Smoke. My name is Michael, and in this video, we're going to be talking about the top 5 blenders that you should give a try in 2025. Before we do that, I want to talk about the reason why I'm doing this video. The main reason, at the beginning of this year, I had a goal, an idea in mind to take each month to highlight a particular blender. Take each month, so for example in January, I was trying to highlight and showcase Straus Tobacconist. Purchased their sampler pack, tried those blends, put those review videos up, just to showcase, right? To put more content on YouTube about that blender versus the typical, the Petersons, the Cornell and Deal, the small batch blends, the Colt Blood Red Moon reviews, all of that type of stuff, just to be something a little bit different. However, as I've done this, I don't necessarily think that the tobacco review videos I've done have really been all that interesting. See, the thing that I want to do here, as I've continued to participate in this YouTube pipe community, the thing that I really want to do is to add value, right? I want to be a contributor that people enjoy watching. I want people to get something and to, you know, when you spend the time to watch this video, I want you to think at the end of it, that was time well spent. Or time that you enjoyed. So I don't want to put out content that isn't either entertaining, informative, or just enjoyable, right? I don't want to just be another, just more noise out there. So for that reason, I'm going to discontinue putting out the tobacco reviews and let the folks who do enjoy making that content and who make good content doing that, I'll let them be the ones to put out the reviews. But that led me, in doing this video, to still just at least mention and talk about some of the ones that I wanted to highlight and showcase for the year. And it is still my intention to do the interviews. So I already have dates actually with both Straus Tobacconist and Watch City Cigar to do an interview with them. And that will definitely be content that is coming to this YouTube channel. And I hope to do that with the other blenders that are on this list. So without further ado, let's get into it. Starting out at number 5 is Watch City Cigar. Now I'm including Watch City Cigar on this list because I started, right? Earlier this week, the first review video dropped of their blend, None of Your Business, which is an exceptional blend. But I didn't give them the full month, so I kind of feel bad about doing that. And the blends from the sampler that I purchased from Watch City have been really, really good. Ernie Q is the blender at Watch City, and I've just had a really great experience with everything that I've smoked from there. So, I mean, Watch City is kind of in a funky place because they're known, but not as well known as something like some of the other folks who are on this list. So if you haven't heard of Watch City Cigar, I would encourage you to check them out. Really great blends. I've been nothing but happy with what I've smoked so far, and that's why they're number 5. Number 4 on my list, another one who is definitely known in this community, is the Country Squire. Now, I know certain people have mixed opinions on the Country Squire, but I've enjoyed the blends. I have smoked them in the past. When I first started in this, I purchased the Fantasy South sampler. Most of those blends I actually didn't like very much. The one that I did was Riverboat Queen, and maybe it was just because I was new to pipe smoking. But I also purchased alongside that Cowboy Coffee, and Cowboy Coffee really, really did it for me. I absolutely love that blend, and I am going to be purchasing a good bit more of that. It's a Virginia, Kentucky blend. It's really, for me, my taste, my palate, I love that blend. But they've got a wide variety of blends, just like everybody on this list does. And they've been doing it for a long time. They've got a lot of history and heritage, which I think is really cool. So that's why the Country Squire is number 4 on this list. Number 3. Now these next 3 are all ones that I have yet to try and plan on trying this year. Number 3 is Straus Tobacconist. Now, Straus Tobacconist was kind of difficult for me to hear about, because when I heard the name, I then searched for them and I didn't really find much. So one of the disadvantages, at least for someone like me who does internet research, is Straus doesn't have a real strong online presence. They don't have an online store like the other blenders on this list do. And I was like, how am I supposed to order tobacco or try them? Well, you have to phone it in. You have to give them a call the shop up, say, hey, I want to buy this tobacco, and do it that way. Which one adds a unique element to them that is pretty cool, actually. But in particular, the blend that lots of people talk about that is made by Straus Tobacconist is Sleepy Hollow. So that is one, it's a seasonal blend. I believe it's only for the month of October. That's the only time that you can get it. It's one that is 100% on my list this year. I didn't get it this past year, but I plan on purchasing some later this year, and I'm looking forward to that. So number 3, Straus Tobacconist. Number 2 on my list is J.M. Boswells. Now, Boswells is kind of interesting because not only do they have pipe tobacco that they blend, but they've got a workshop and pipe makers, which I think is really, really cool. See, at J.M. Boswells, every Monday they drop a new set of pipes, 7:30 p.m. Now, some of them aren't necessarily my cup of tea. Some of them to me look kind of chunky and blocky, but then they've got a lot of others as well that they drop that I'm thinking, wow, that's a really, really beautiful pipe. And it would be kind of cool to smoke some Boswell's tobacco in your Boswell's pipe. The blend from Boswell's that I would really, really like to try is Christmas Cookie. I hear a lot, especially last month, I heard a lot about Christmas Cookie and how for a lot of people that is their go-to holiday blend. And I'm looking forward to try that. I think that one even is available year-round. At least last I checked, a week ago or so, it was still available. So Boswell's is another person on this list, another shop that you should try out. In particular, for me, I want to try out that Christmas Cookie. Couple honorable mentions before I list the last one. One obviously would be Milan Tobacconist. I did the review series on them. There's also a number of even smaller shops, right? The ones that I'm naming are schmedium, right? Most of these have their own brick and mortar storefront, but then there's an category smaller where they do it off of Facebook. So an example that I've seen some content and videos about is Nile of Nine. This is one, I believe it's Big John is the fella's name who does, I don't know his real name or whatever, but he goes by Big John. The blends, one thing that he does is has a lot of information about what's in the blend, right? As far as the tobacco components that are in the blend, very informative, like very transparent as to what's in the blend. So that's very interesting. And typically all the tobacco that he's got in there is got at least like 5 years of age from what I've seen. So that's also pretty cool, right? So Nile of Nine would be another person, another shout out. I believe it's only on Facebook, but another small blender that I think deserves a word. And number 1 on my list of pipe tobacco blenders that you should give a try in 2025 is LJ Peretti. Now, LJ Peretti is very cool because they've been around for a long time, right? They have a very historical shop in Boston, and it's very cool. Pipes, Tobacco, and Whiskey did a couple-part interview series touring the shop and talking about some of the history and the offerings of LJ Peretti. That was very enjoyable. I'd highly encourage you to check that out. And there's something about tobacco, there's something about pipes and tobacco that has a historical element to it, right? Especially like tobacco being grown in the United States. There's really not a lot of that done anymore, but there is a history to it, right? So as far as a shop, it's very cool to me that there's also a shop with a lot of history as well. And as far as their blends go, I enjoy burley mixtures. They've got a whole bunch of mixtures, just like everybody does. But the one that I want to give a try is Cuban mixture from LJ Peretti. I believe that that's the oldest blend that they still have in production as far as how old the recipe is. And that's something else that's really cool about LJ Peretti is they've got books and books and stacks of blends that have been developed through the ages, which again just adds to this historical element and just the coolness factor. So those would be the top 5 blenders that I would highly suggest that if you haven't, at least give them a look. Check them out, see if anything interests you, and maybe support them if you feel inclined to do so. So to run through it one last time, the top 5 blenders that you should give a try in 2025 is Watch City Cigar, the Country Squire, Straus Tobacconist, J.M. Boswells, and LJ Peretti. I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time.